Okay, you can hear me. Good. All right, so let me revamp. Okay, good. I don't know what happened, but we're back now. Okay, gentlemen, this is Hero Journey with Dr. D here to encourage, to motivate, to inspire, helping you get beyond your first move and creating a better mindset today. Don't exactly know what just happened, but hopefully we have clarity on the roadmap. So what we're going to do is that I was talking about uh, we talk about character. The character is what we're talking about tonight. Does character matter? Okay. Character matter. Now I'm going to. I don't believe that I was heard at the very beginning. So what I'm going to do is repeat. Have a friend wrote a book about character, and we're going to start it off with this. And I think it's a good way to start it off. The question I asked, or what I stated, was that all right. If you ask the average person what is character, you may get a wide range of answers, quotes, maxims, definitions, proverbs, principles, or precepts. I once heard a pastor say, "Characters is who you are when no one is looking." An African professor shared that his culture had a proverb that stated, "Character is like smoke; it cannot be hidden." In the court of law, I heard an attorney say, "Character is drawing a line in the sand and not crossing it." To study character and how it is developed is a fascinating undertaking. Many great minds have made brilliant observations on the subject. The reader is encouraged to create a personal list of power quotes that exemplify strong character traits and weak character traits. Abraham Lincoln has made an interesting observation. Also, he said, "Nearly all men stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." What in the world? Give him power. Give him power. What exactly does that mean? Can you stand the heat? Can you stand the fire? Can you stand the glory? Can you stand when you get praised? I don't know. Can you? Can you stand? A lot of people. How can you expect to talk to the masses if you fail at talking to one person? Is it possibly that the only reason you're up in front of thousands is for the fame and not for the effect? What is the purpose behind the fame? Is it integrity? Is it character? Is the character not to, is it not the purpose to be in front of the masses to affect the masses for change? Or is it just to receive all the adoration from the crowd? That can always be tested. Give a person one person and you give them 1,000 person. Of course, more people you receive, the more energy. But why does the message change? Does the message change just to appeal or to stay at that top? Or do you have integrity? If the people left, you still said the same thing. You have a lot of speakers, you have writers, you have singers who have changed their message for the masses. One would say that's because they're trying to feed their family. Others will say because they lack integrity. What do you say? Does character matter or is it just a means to an end? So tonight, journeyman, journeywomen, what we will be talking about, we will be having an open discussion pertaining to character. If you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others? Click subscribe, comment, share. Come on, give your 2 cents. You may actually get a nickel back. So what I will start right now, when we do the discussion and the Q&As, I will go over in the guests. I'll add a guest. I put a link in the comment section. Is character in the eye of the beholder? Is it subjective to different interpretations? Hmm. Well, and I say I say this. Let me click this out. If you go back into the AD or Egyptians, Egyptians usually wrote hieroglyphic. So it was carved in the wall to leave an impression. So in order to have character, it takes a little pressure. In order to have character, something has to be carved out of you. Why it's carved out? To leave the impression and to take the purities out. Because if the impurities are taken out, if there's no pain in the making of character, there's no real character. So to answer your question, character could be in the eye of the beholder. However, I believe that character takes a little suffering, a little pain to appreciate it, to appreciate it. And so the impression is always there. It's felt and is always there. And you get with the impression, you can impress on others. So something has to be carved out of you to leave an impression. Something that's impressed on you as being impactful for someone. Take a little time. All right. Thanks, Phil. Uh let me see. I think Tito's here. That's because pretty much did my discussion. So the Q&A. So those get in the back room, so I can bring you on. All right. Okay. Character.
Who a person
Character,
is.
One at a time. What's that?
Go ahead, Renee.
character is the true moral and distinctive characteristics of a person. Because not all character is good. It can be good character, you can have bad character, but it's just uh, who you truly are morally. Like your pastor said, when no one's looking, the true you comes out.
Wouldn't that be integrity?
Is integrity part of character?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Okay, yeah, that fits. The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Not
Okay, the
integrity.
mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Okay, yeah. That's
Test one, two,
the
three
mental and
needs
moral
to cut
qualities
the sound off in the
distinctive.
background.
Not integrity.
Test one, two, three needs to cut the sound off in the background.
Not integrity.
I just put on mute. Okay.
Okay, so I looked up integrity. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can
I'm
be
listening.
perfect.
Integrity, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness.
Okay. You
So,
said
hey,
go
what
ahead.
happened? Oh, yeah. So integrity, integrity, by definition, seems to be a particular way. You're honest and you're morally upright. Whereas character is the true distinctive nature of the individual. You might have good character, you can also have bad character.
Right. Then you can have good character, also bad character.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, would that be the essence of the okay? Because integrity would mean the integrity would be the essence of the individual.
That would be character.
Right. So are you
Integ- so if
saying
you so if you say he has integrity, what you're saying is he's a morally upright and honest person. Whereas you could look at a person and say, oh, he's got bad character. or you could say, oh, he's got really good character. So it seems like integrity is particularly one. So if you're dishonest, then you don't have integrity. Like somebody might say, I don't like that guy. He doesn't have any integrity.
I would say integrity would be a trait of a character.
Right. Yeah, that seems accurate. Yeah.
Right. Okay. 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 A character. Yeah. A character can be a bad. Okay. Esther. It can be a bad character or a good character. To give simplicity.
Right.
And so a bad character has certain elements, even like an anti-hero or the villain would be a bad character. The
Right.
hero would be a good character. There are certain traits that you look for in movies or plays or comic books. There are certain theme. Case in point, Mr. Glass.
Oh yeah.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Unbreakable. Mr. Glass, Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis. He did the research on the hero, the character of a hero. You know, spontaneous, receives superpowers, so he kind of set everything up to bring out the character. While who his character was meant for evil. You see, but his thought pattern was you cannot have evil without good. You can have a hero without a villain.
Mm.
And so he was embracing his role as a villain, only to find it. And oh no, he was the puppet master. Yeah, he was a puppet master, pulling the ingredients to the surface to have a villain and a hero. Because remember, the beast, not the beast, but yeah, he made all these things happen in the villain's life to bring out the multiple personalities, the trauma, so he can become the villain that he knew he had the potential to be. He created it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I created both of you all. He's like, he's created his own comic book in real life. Who's ultimately
Yeah.
survival.
It gave him purpose.
Right. Exactly. It gave him purpose. Do you recall that movie, Tito?
No.
Not at all. How about you, Thanos? Thanos.
Is he still muted?
No,
Yeah.
I took him off.
Yeah. I heard somebody eating. I heard somebody crunching.
No, I still got him on mute. Okay,
Yeah.
Thanos. Thanos, what you say?
Me?
I hear you now. I had to take you had an echo in the background. I hear you.
All right. What was the question again?
I use the example of Unbreakable, Bruce Willis, Samuel Jackson. We was talking about character. What is character? And Tito's integrity. So Renee, he said integrity is the element of a person with good character. Well, no, integrity is
Right, exactly. I think we gotta distinguish between good character and bad character. So what you're talking about is good character, a person of integrity, a person who isn't gonna lie, cheat, and steal, a person who will be moral, ethical, and legal.
That's integrity, right? And then I use the example of the movie Unbreakable. Are you familiar? Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis.
I can't say right off the top of my head. Maybe you got to remind me of what the
Mr.
movie
Glass.
was about.
Samuel Jackson's his name was Mr. Glass, and he was pretty much the puppet master. He engineered situations in Bruce Willis' life to let him realize he had superhuman strength, and then he I forgot Mr. the Beast had multiple personality disorders, so he
Yeah,
engineered
I think
trauma.
that was actually the second one.
Well, no, that came the full story.
Yeah, that's right. Because the first one it was just him and and then the second one is when they had the other two. Yeah, they had
Right,
the
'cause
guy
Flint,
from plays
Flint,
Doctor. He plays the Professor X and X-Men. Yeah,
you
But you
yeah.
actually bring up a good point.
Yeah.
You have a good point right there. When you asked about how people would have character or how you would act if you had good superhuman abilities or if you had a lot of money. Money is always something that tests, people and really shows what kind of character they are.
right.
So I guess what I'm saying
It
is,
amplifies.
if you put somebody in a position of power, yeah. If I put you in a position of power and say you can have anything, everything, and do whatever you want to do, what would you want to do?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is it true? People say money brings out your true character. I've heard people say that about marriage too. Is that true? They say marriage will really bring out who you really are.
It cars to the core.
What?
I plead the fifth.
All I know is somebody gonna answer that question the right way.
No, but I mean, it pulls. Nobody's closer to you than your spouse, so it pulls you out. It's not, but I've always said it's not about what people do to you. It's how you respond. There lies the work. How do you respond when somebody pulls your last string?
Off with their heads.
You don't just say what the problem is, Tina.
No, she don't get AK-47.
I just pull a Ike.
Right. What you say, Tina?
Eat the cake.
You take off her heel. Take off her heel.
Okay, I have a question for the panel.
Uh-huh.
Panel, was Robin Hood a man of character? Yes or no? And
You
why?
want time?
No.
Oh, that's not the reason. Come on now.
He had distorted character. He was like Thanos. It looked right in his own eyes, but the bottom line is he was a thief. You're still a thief.
So if I steal from Bernie Madoff
You're a
versus
thief.
stealing from somebody who don't have money, why is it not
You're
okay?
a thief.
He's not gonna miss something.
It's not okay. You're still a thief.
I agree with you, Renee. I'm on your side with this, Renee.
Yeah. You're still a thief. Robin Hood was a thief.
Okay.
He's a good.
Okay. What about?
Like
I
Thanos
have
was a
another
psychopath.
example.
Okay.
Where?
Okay. What about that young man who defected to North Korea? Y'all not watching the news? You didn't hear about that U.S. soldier?
The one that supposed to been flying back to the States and then decided to go on a tour and then take off running. Yeah. I don't know much about him. I only know what they say on the news, on the media outlets. So, but what is your question? What are you trying to get to concerning the young man?
Okay. He was coming back to the United States and was going to be faced with prison time. So rather than come back here and go to jail. He just said F all of that. I'll defect.
To North Korea or all the places.
Of all places. Wow.
I guess he didn't know about the last guy they sent back, in a vegetative state. He didn't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Maybe thought he could blend in.
Oh no, nah, that was a brother. Look, I think that was a
Is
brother.
it brother?
Yeah.
Oh, so you say what? No
It
blending
was,
in?
and his mama was pissed. His mama and brother were like, "What? We don't know what got into him to that of all places."
And why would it? What was he being charged with?
Assault.
Oh, so really? Oh, wow.
And so they were sending him back to the United States. From my understanding, what I seen on the media, he had got into some trouble. They were sending him back to the United States, I guess, to finish the process. And he decided to, because the MPs walked him to the terminal as far as they can go. I heard from one source, and he decided to jump in a tour group after the MPs released him, and he was on the tour, and he took off running, and he passed. He ran into North Korea. He went past the neutral zone or something they call it. So that's all I know from what I seen on the news. And so far, from my understanding, they also haven't had any contact with the guy, and North Korea hasn't commented as of earlier today when I saw the last update.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I know they probably pulling their teeth and fingernails out by now, trying to get him to confess.
Man.
Confess what?
Wow.
Wait, it's like it was assault. But I was wondering how intense was the assault? He just did 2 months in South Korea, and then about to take him back to America. I wouldn't think the jail time wouldn't be worse in America.
Yeah, I wouldn't think.
I think when you come to get a state, it's different.
Well,
U.S. jails are paradise compared to stuff around the world.
Right, I've heard.
You in Club Med in county jail compared to being in a prison in North Korea.
Go ahead, Tina. You gonna say something?
My question would be, when he was in South Korea, when he was because either he was stationed or on a detachment or something, deployed TAD or something.
Wait, he's military?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So my question would be, when he was charged with assault, was the military charging him with assault, or was it something he did out in the civilian world in South Korea that he got in trouble for, and that's why they was sending him back? He did whatever, paid his consequences.
I think it's military because he was in South Korea, incarcerated South Korea, but we have a lot of troops over there, I guess, in our pretty much base, and then they're gonna send him back to America to finish out his military time.
Okay, that's the part I didn't know, because sometimes you can get in trouble out in the civilian world, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Did he get in trouble when he was in South Korea, as far as being out off the depot or off the base or anything? And then, they was like, well, you're a risk. We got to get you out of this country, because it's like this. As many countries as I've visited, we'll have they laws are different, and sometimes you can get out of trouble in another country, and sometimes you can't, and you just kind of like stuck there, and you got to serve your time. It's nothing really the U.S. government can do. So I'm thinking maybe he was being sent back because his what he was doing there, it was probably wasn't worth the headache of the United States to have him now, and he's running amok in a foreign land, in a friendly land to us, an ally of ours. So they was probably sending him back to finish up, or send him, in the Marine Corps we used to say the brig. It's called a brig for us. Maybe they was sending him back to get finished. He do his court martial or whatever, and they sent him to the brig. Maybe he didn't want to face whatever consequences that he had to face when he get back to the States. Maybe he thinking that, hey, his career's over, or whatever. I don't know what was on his mind, but
his career was over. It's dishonorable.
Okay, a dishonorable is still better than being locked up in North Korea, from my understanding. You know what I mean?
But I don't think he's locked up in North Korea.
What I'm saying is he's in North Korea.
Right.
So we don't know if he's locked up. We don't have that information. So I would rather go to the brig or go deal with my consequence, or have a BCD, we used to call it, big bad chicken dinner, however you want to say it. Bad conduct discharge. That used to be our little saying.
Renee, pull away from the camera, like we messed up your nap.
Oh, that's
right.
All I did was
sleep. I don't know how he's not telling us he's.
All I did was rotate the phone. That's all.
I know you was real close. Like I can almost see you snoring.
Yeah, I can see your foundation on your face, your makeup that you did for the show.
As you were saying, yeah, yeah. As you were saying, well, yeah, it's like the young lady that they put her in Dubai. They put her in jail for yelling at a man.
Yeah, I saw a couple of clips of.
Yeah.
Really?
That.
Yeah, because in Dubai, it's illegal for a woman to raise her voice at a man.
Oh boy,
and she's an American woman. She said she was the first American truck driver in Dubai. She got a truck there and everything, and got into an argument. Somebody raised her voice, and apparently she's been in jail for like 2 months now.
Well,
let me take it.
The law is the law wherever you at. You can't act like you in the United States when you're in another land.
Part of the problem is you Americans, y'all take stuff for granted as it is. You litter, you walk in the middle of the street, you don't stop at stop signs, and then you go somewhere abroad and act like you entitled because you're an American. Guess what? They're gonna lock your butt up and not think about it twice.
So let me take a stab. How was she by any chance of African descent?
We believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, from like I said, travels. I had an incident in Turkey, and we had got briefed before we went out into Turkey, and it slipped my mind until something happened. We was walking, me and a group of friends, we was walking, and we was going past these shops. It was different shops. It's kind of like it was like a row, like when you're in the city, you got these rows of buildings, and up top might be apartments, but down low might be retail shops. And we was walking. I can't remember exactly. We was walking, and it's against a lot of spit on the sidewalk. And I was walking with some of my friends. I spit on the sidewalk, not even thinking about it. Right. So this guy where I spit it, his shop was there. He ran out and he started yelling at me. And I'm like, I didn't understand what he was yelling at me for. He was just like, pick it up. And I was like, what are you, it took me a few seconds to realize he was talking about my spit. And I looked at him, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And so I picked up my spit, and he said, and it was like a sewage drainage. He's like, put it in there, and I did it because him yelling. You can see the crowd start to come, and then when I realized what I did wrong, I was like, hold on. I apologize. I put it in there, and I just got on out of there because it was better for me to apologize because I was in the wrong. I knew better. It just slipped my mind. But once he said something, I was like, wow, because at the end of the day, it is their law. It is their rule. I can't go over there and do something and disrespect them and their law and thinking that it's okay because I'm American, So for me, it was like, okay, I don't want to be locked up anywhere. I rather if I'm gonna get in trouble, get me back to the U.S. property, lock me up there,
Right.
where I have my rights. But if I'm locked up in a foreign country, I got to go by their rules, their house rules.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we just have to follow the rules for where we are at. That's just as simple. Learn the laws, learn some basic laws of where you're going, so you can try to stay in compliance, and and carry yourself with in a respectful manner, like you like my parents would say, like you got some home training. Hey, you just sometimes it's better to eat a humble pie than it is to try to prove your point.
Yeah. I believe it's the same in the Philippines. It's against the law for a foreigner to publicly yell at a Filipino, I think.
Really?
Yeah. So I think, like you said, wherever you go, learn, at least get the basics, so you're not unfortunately, Americans have the reputation around the world for being very rude sometimes. But I think, like you said, we don't take time to learn the local culture, so you're not offending them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let me. I'm gonna read a definition of a character. Riverside. Character is a combination of emotional, intellectual, and moral qualities that distinguish one person or group from another. A breakdown of it is the word character comes to our language from a Greek word that means to carve or engrave. In order for character to be developed, a cutting must take place. A scratch had to be made, and an impression must be left on the surface of whatever has been touched. In my opinion, character develop in humans by cutting an impression on the heart, on the soul. Character is not developed without pain or discomfort. Character leaves an indelible impression on the nature of a being, and something must be taken away. The consequence of what has been carved out. The development of character always leaves a scar impression. What's your thoughts on that?
There's more than one way.
I still always go back to that interpretation stuff. I still go back to that. I know that we want to talk about all of the good things and bring that into a situation, but I think about the Good Samaritan. I think about vigilantism too. Is that being a person of good character because you wouldn't let somebody take advantage of you or commit a crime against you? Is that a person of good character?
Repeat.
Maybe
Could
not.
be rhetorical. Also could be a question to you, Dr. D.
But maybe not. What's the motivation of the person?
Right.
The motivation may be selfish. I'm not. Maybe I think. So I think that could be either way.
See, when I
Okay,
think of
Tito, what you got to say about that?
when I think of the word character, I think more on the line of, hey, a personality, and that can be good or bad. it depends on the personality of the person. That's how I see character, you know. So it's not, I'm not gonna always say is your character is always developed by your environment. It can be a contributing factor. Um, but I know it can cause you to be who you become. You know, you can have people that come from the worst of the worst neighborhoods and backgrounds, and people don't expect them to achieve anything, and they become outstanding, successful, you know, productive members of society. And you can have people that have a silver spoon in their mouth, born with the silver spoon, and they go the opposite way. So I think it's your environment is part of it, but I think your mindset is the most important part, because you're only going to do what your mind, where your mind is at, what your mind is capable of doing. If you want to be if you make your mind up, you want to do good things, that's what you're going to strive for, and your character going to reflect that. But if you make up your mind, you want to be a criminal or you want to be a bad guy, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do everything in your power to live up to that image that you created within your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I got one more question, and then I'll lead it back to Dr. D, because I know he's sick of me taking over his show. But the question is regarding, follow me, fellas, with this one. Remember that episode of Good Times where they found that money and Florida made James give it back?
I do vaguely remember that.
Is that Black Jesus episode?
Okay. I can't even remember that, but it was an episode where he found some money and Florida made him give the money back, and everybody was like, y'all living in the projects and the below the property level, and you found some money but you gave it back. And on top of that, whoever he gave the money back to, they didn't act like they cared or was grateful. So then, could it possibly be that you can be so upholding of the law and have such a good character that you do things that are foolish?
Well, I mean, yes, sure. In check, that's not necessarily foolish.
Foolish.
You know, he had integrity. He was morally upright. He was honest. So he gave the money back.
He knew it wasn't his.
That was true, but I'm telling y'all, my dad wouldn't have gave that money back so fast like that. He probably would have waited to see if somebody said they was missing something before he just walked in and say, "Here go the money."
But they only had 45 minutes in the episode.
Hey, what are you trying to say? My dad would have waited 45 days.
It's all relative to the context of the time frame.
Well, wouldn't that go back to integrity?
Yeah. Wyona had integrity. Was that her name, Wyona?
Lona.
No, that was Janet Jackson's mom. What was her name? What was about the Good Times name?
Lona.
Huh?
Yeah, Florida.
Florida, yeah.
Oh,
she had integrity.
Yeah.
You can have integrity all you want to, but we're not living below the poverty level and find some money and not trying to get out of this poverty situation.
Yeah, but that's like saying a man's hungry.
Watching the asphalt fall. Just good time. Good time. Yeah.
So even the Bible says that if you catch a man stealing, don't despise him, but he has to return everything he stole sevenfold. So even the Bible acknowledges, okay, you were hungry, you stole, we get that, but it's still wrong, and you got to pay back what you stole up to sevenfold. So yeah, if you live below the poverty line, and the other thing too is the laws too. Now, I would, if the law is I have to bring it to, I think the someplace the law is you got to bring it to the police. Like you find a suitcase of money, you bring it to the police. They keep it for a certain period of time, and then if no one claims it, they give it to you. I think, but we all know you'll probably never see that money again. But if that's the law, then you should do the law. Now, would I do that? I don't know. I don't think I'd ever want to live in the projects, or because they lived in the
I
projects.
might give it back because I don't want somebody thinking I still got it.
Right.
And I want to make sure that there's no tracking device in it, and then that money is non-sequential.
Yeah. And they were in Chicago or Detroit. Where was the time? They were where?
Chicago.
Oh, of course. I should have known. Yeah. So,
I knew you was gonna say that.
Ain't nobody giving no money back in Chicago. Yeah, right. But yeah. So.
They not giving it back in North Carolina either. Stop playing.
You right. You sure right, David. And
they definitely not giving away in Georgia. They barely gave you the vote.
Hey, watch your mouth.
You barely got the vote.
This is the Bible Belt. Watch your mouth.
Which Bible?
The one that had the Holy Spirit in. Not your Bible. Your Bible is the Quran. But I'm talking. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I would try to do the law. I would try to do the law. I would try to do whatever was the legally right thing to do. I would try. I don't know if I would or not, but I would try.
Thank you for your honest answer.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear. Honesty.
Yeah.
Because we can speculate all day what we would do, but when you're in that situation, you might do something totally different. And maybe you find that money in a time of you suffering a financial hardship at that time. And you looking at it, thank you, Lord, for the blessing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you might not even be thinking about it as, hey, this is somebody else's money, but I've been praying for this miracle. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a situation where a person I met, he had obtained, well, he had some money out, and he was looking at a vehicle, and then he get pinched in daylight. Old guy was saying something, and he's like, yeah. Then before he knew, he felt something in the side, and young boy had a gun on the side. And he's oh man, and this gentleman just spent a considerable amount of time incarcerated, and he knew the life, but he's like, listen, man, go ahead and get it, whatever. And money poured out of his jacket. He said, get it. And he said he looked at the gun, so he knew it. He was trying to see if it was a BB gun versus a real gun. And he said it's Glock. It was Glock back. So he knew it's a real gun. So, and his whole thought pattern after he got it, he was ticked off that he got caught. Because I think he felt like he should have knew better. But he wasn't from the area. But then he also said, well, that man needed it. He said their man needed it. But it's also his lens, his outlook was, at least I walked away. He said, right. What sense does it do to battle? It's money, and I walked away. But he said that ain't gonna never happen again. He said that ain't gonna never happen again. He said, but his money, I walked away. Why have an altercation with the people they robbing me? He said maybe they actually needed the money. He said I hope they actually need the money to feed their family. And he's actually thinking of the wrong he did. He said maybe it's just karma. You reaping what you sow. And if they got me for this, maybe they can feed their family. He's out hoping they're not just getting in blowing the money because they robbed him. But I was interested. It was interesting to see that he had that type of lens. I can say the people that robbed him, you don't know what type of character they had, but I just was amazed at his lens of okay, that ain't gonna happen again. Maybe they needed the money. I guess if you can talk to say maybe they need the money for the family, feed the family, then it gives you a little bit more solace. And maybe they felt that they need to do what they need to do.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah. I was somewhat impressed. I said, really? It's
Yeah.
middle of the day too. It wasn't like nighttime, it's middle of the day, so daylight, front street.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
but
know,
he was right. Nobody got hurt. That's the most important thing.
nobody got hurt. And
Nobody
said,
got hurt.
yeah, nobody got
But
hurt.
I do believe the people that robbed them should be caught and punished, though.
They will, but maybe not this time. What happens is that you give a person a rope, they create a noose.
Mm-hmm.
Little confidence, a little bit, they keep on doing it. It happens.
They're gonna rob the wrong person.
That's right. Hopefully they stopped it. I feel so bad about this. And they try to finally get and they stop doing that.
Yeah, I had my friend. He told me his uncle, the guy was breaking into the house. He said his uncle deliberately sat in the shadow of the room, didn't make any noise. He waited till the guy got inside the house and shot him.
Shot him dead?
Yeah, killed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess the guy couldn't sue.
No. And the law as such was that he was justified.
He live in Florida?
No, this was in upstate New York.
Oh. Stand your ground, or just he intruded.
No, I don't think New York has a stand your ground law. You know, they're not pro guns in New York, but in this case, yeah, he broke into his house. Now, if he had made noise, like, "Hey, what you doing?" The guy probably would have ran, but he did. He just sat in the dark, waited till he got good inside the house, shot and killed him.
And he waited because if he shot him, he ran away.
Kind of like that too.
Yeah, he would have been liable.
The same situation here in Illinois, where they tell you have to wait for the intruder to step over the line. You can't shoot them on the front porch or climbing in the window. They have to actually get in the house.
Yeah. Now in California, he could be in your house robbing you, and they say don't do anything to him because they can sue you. You could be standing in your living room. There's a dude in there with a bag loading up. If you take a baseball bat and give him a good old fashioned Brooklyn style beatdown, he could sue you and win.
Not if he did.
Well, he ain't gonna get much from me though.
No, if he's dead, then you're gonna go to jail. Yeah, you're gonna go to jail for manslaughter. That's how liberal the laws are in California, huh?
What happened to self-defense?
The laws in California are very left-leaning, very liberal, very. Wow. They say if someone's breaking. This was a guy who he was living there. He told me someone's breaking in your house. Best thing you can do, he call the cops and just wait, and they know that. And then, because he said if you whoop him good, he gonna sue you, and more than likely he's gonna win.
I kind of find that crazy, you know, because I know my wife and my kid is in this house, and I wouldn't, not knowing the mindset, you know what that person is up to, and they take the time to force their way into a lock house.
Right.
I'm not worried about at that point. I'm not worried about a lawsuit. I'm worried about protecting my family.
Right.
Yeah. See, we're thinking logically and reasonably, but some of those places, it's. Yeah. When he told me, I thought that's ridiculous. He said, if you shoot him or something like that, you'll probably go to jail for manslaughter.
Wow.
I guess you better get your family out the house.
You're what?
Get your who?
Get your family out of the house.
Well, or just this is California now. I guess just wait, and don't let them go upstairs to where your family is, and
No, I said you. No. What I mean by that is, if you know he coming in the house, it's best that you get out of it.
Well, yeah, I guess in California we don't have that problem in Texas, Georgia, Florida, and North Carolina.
Yep. Don't.
Go Tar Heels.
I won't say nothing about those red states.
You said what?
Red states.
He said what?
Red states.
Yeah, that's right. He's safer.
Red states.
Yeah, it's safer.
The blood of Jesus. Oh, the blood. Oh, I got caught up. All right. Hey, gentlemen. Yeah. So let me wrap this up. So we talk about character. So character, it crosses over the different capacities, meaning in everyday life, even in the military service. It just crosses over. And it's interesting. It's interesting yet disturbing that the line between somebody being integral and having character have been blurred between even political parties. But we can walk in character, we can walk in integrity, or we can't, or we won't. It's all a choice. I believe that we all have, ones who walk in character have a better end as well as duration in life. Because I believe that you do reap what you sow. Any last words for anybody?
God is the true source of good character.
So our whole concentration tonight was, I know the word character, but we was focusing on what makes a good character, correct?
Integrity, yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's why you need a standard.
Right.
That's why you need a standard above yourself. If you talk to Hitler, he probably would have said, I have very good character. I love Germany. What I'm doing is right for this country. This is the right thing to do. Thanos is the same way. But so if you don't have a standard above yourself, then how can you measure what's good or bad character? That's why you need a standard. You need God to be the standard of good character. Because if not, whatever you deem in your heart is right.
Yeah.
Cannibals probably said they had good character. We're like, no, you cut the head out. And cannibals like, no, that's what we do. What you say?
Finger looking good.
Yeah. So this is right. This is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is to walk in good character and not bad character. So it can be examples to not just our children, but the community around us.
Yeah.
And so when people talk, when we leave, transition to the next realm of existence, people will talk favorably on us because you all gonna leave an impression.
Well,
The thing is, what type of impression will you leave?
Well, I always say that every day you're living your eulogy. And how do you want people to speak as you at your home going?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, good perspective.
All right, gentlemen. All right.
Jesus Christ. Hey, Jesus Christ.
You understand? Okay. And we out. Okay. Oh, I got save my screen. Hey, gentlemen, thank you for that's funny. That's funny. Uh, hey, gentlemen, if you found me further value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribe. Don't forget the thumbs up, commenting, and sharing. Because when you do that, you organically help build and grow with me so we can make it better tomorrow to today. Now, if you remember, if you forget anything else, we're talking about character. We're talking about character mattering. Let's live a life of integrity. Let's live a life full of character. So when we leave this plane of existence, like I stated before, that we impress upon people something positive and that they can take and live their life with. So if you don't remember anything else from this video, remember this. Every day you get a vertical, make it your goal in life to always move forward and never move back. Because life is just too short to live looking in the rearview mirror. There's a hero's journey with Dr. D. Make sure that you look up above and you'll find some of our new playlists and new segments of In Them Streets with Dr. D, as well as Ride and Share. Coming up with new things later on. Need anything else more in depth? Go to heroseeks.org so we can talk about how we can help you get beyond this move and get a little better for more extensive session. This is Hero's Journey with Dr. D, and we are out. Wanna move my feet, wanna drop my one, wanna move my feet.